Hello and welcome along to another video. Today it's all about hanging baskets. It's now time to put together two large hanging baskets which I traditionally put out the front of the house, and then I have a series of smaller plastic ones that hang over the balustrade of the deck. Now, as we know, baskets come in all sort of shapes and sizes. For years and years I used these metal ones, and as you can see they have fairly small holes or gaps where the plants can actually come through, and so every year I would have to go out and buy a coir liner, or I would line it with some years I've lined it with polythene. I think I've tried an old jumper, a little bit of weed suppressing membrane and that sort of thing. But the disadvantage with these types of hanging baskets that I've found is that the holes are quite small, so the root ball of the plant that you actually can get through has to be quite small. Now, about 10 years ago I was reading one of my national newspapers, and I saw these hanging baskets on offer. Again, heavy duty plastic, and there is 3, 6, 9, there's 12 openings, and they're all operated by a little removable gate. Now, this is, in my opinion, the best hanging basket that I've used, and it's the one that I shall continue to use, because as soon as the basket is finished flowering, you can take the plants out, you can chuck it into a big large bath of hot soapy water, give it a good scrub and a good clean, and then it's just as good for the following year. The only drawback is that the chain is a little bit rusty, but that's not a great problem. So we've now moved over to the table, and as you can see I've got a selection of plants which I'm now going to choose from to fill the hanging basket. I've got a selection of thrillers, so I've got a white osteospermum there, which is a nice little compact plant. I've also got a couple of salvia amestads here, which would equally work as well as a thriller. I've also got some red geraniums. Now, if you remember from a previous video, these were the little plugs that I planted out. I bought at the local garden centre, and they were just teeny weeny. They were no more than about an inch in height, and I planted them on, and then I planted them on into these pots, and this is the result of those plants. So they could go in as a main plant, or one of the thrillers in the front. And then I've got various other plants here. We have a selection of petunias, and again in the video I bought petunias and I bought geraniums, little plug plants which I potted on, and this is the result. They're in full flower. They're a little bit earlier than they would normally because we've had some extremely warm early spring weather. We had some rain on Thursday. Now here we are, this is Friday today, and we're due for some more rain this evening and certainly over the weekend. So these are the what we would call the fillers, and then some of the spillers. I've got some lobelia, again bought as plugs and then planted out, and these are the trailing lobelia, and then mixed colours. So we'll get some of those in, and then if we look again round some of the other plants on the table, this plant here, which is a sort of cascading, I don't know the actual the name of it, but that was a plant, and that was a plant that came out of last year's hanging baskets. But lobelia, again another trailing variety of lobelia, and you can see it's all sort of full of colours. actually going to give it a little bit of water now because the compost is just falling through the gaps, and if we put a little bit of So now we've got a combination of fillers and spillers. Now we can start thinking about the thriller in the middle. And that can sit just on the surface of the soil there. I think I'll just take that off because it's broken off. And then we can put some more fillers in and around. So what I try to do is have a look, see what's coming out the side or out the holes, and then try and marry them up. Another petunia in there. This trailing thing. Now we've got quite a few trailing things over there, so I'll put this one over this side. Oh, nearly done. Pop another geranium in there. A little orange begonia in there. So as you can see, the hanging basket is nearly complete now. And I've got a combination of a thriller in the middle, and then I've got some fillers, the geraniums, the petunias, a little bit of lobelia coming around the side there. So what I'll now do is I will top it up with compost and fill these gaps here, but I do have room for more plants to actually go more or less into the center. But what I want to do first of all is to just put some more compost in, then give it a good water, and then leave it under here for a day or so, because it's going to be quite rainy tonight and Saturday, and then I think we're going to get a little bit of wind. And what I don't want to do is to put the hanging basket out and it get damaged in the wind straight away until the plants have had a chance to establish and get their roots right into the compost. So I'll leave it under here for a few days until the worst of the weather is over, and then I'll go and put them out front of the house.